help you make sense of West Africa's investment world. This podcast is brought to you by Daba, your most comprehensive platform for investing in African stocks, bonds, and managed funds. You can download the Daba app on your favorite Google and Apple app stores. We start with some great news. The BRVM market continues to show strong momentum this week, sending a clear message to investors across Francophone Africa. In the next few minutes, we'll break down today's top stock performers, how key indices are trending, and what's happening in the bond market. Let's dive in. Don't forget, if you want to go beyond the headlines and get access to weekly recommendations, deep analysis, and exclusive data, Daba Pro is your ultimate tool. Now, let's begin with the market's biggest gainers. Leading the charge today is a familiar name, Unilever Côte d'Ivoire. The stock jumped by 7.39%, closing at 45,555 francs CFA. Over the past year, it soared by more than 603%. Yes, you heard that right. This surge shows growing investor confidence in the consumer staples sector, and for shareholders, it means their portfolios are seeing significant growth. This is what a winning long-term play looks like on the BRVM. In second place, we have SAPH Côte d'Ivoire, a key player in the rubber and agricultural industry. The stock rose 4.51% to close at 6,490 francs CFA. Year to date, it's now up by 56.76%. As agriculture and raw materials gain more attention globally, SAPH's consistent performance is a reassuring signal for investors in the region. Up next, SAFCA posted a gain of 7.19%, reaching 745 francs CFA per share. This upward move suggests improving sentiment in the discretionary consumer goods segment, possibly linked to recovery in domestic spending. The fourth top performer today was Uniwax, a textile company that added 3.60%, closing at 575 francs CFA. Its year-over-year return now stands at more than 40%, proving that even niche industries can deliver strong returns when well-positioned in their market. Finally, Société Ivoirienne de Banque, SIB, gained 3.13% to close at 4,950 francs CFA. Not only is the stock trending upward, but investors holding the share will also receive a dividend of 375 francs CFA tomorrow, an attractive combination of capital gains and cash flow. Now, let's take a look at the day's main losers. The largest drop came from CIE Côte d'Ivoire, which fell by 5.06% to 2,250 francs CFA. This decline comes one day before the dividend payout, a likely sign of profit-taking. Other modest declines were recorded by SITAB, BOA Senegal, BOA Niger, and Total Energies CI, with daily drops between 1.6% and 2.5%. Moving on to the broader market indicators, the BRVM Composite Index, which reflects the overall market trend, rose by 0.16% to close at 301.27 points. Since the beginning of the year, it's now up 12.77%, a strong showing for regional equities in 2025. The BRVM Principal Index, which tracks the top companies by market capitalization, recorded a healthy gain of 0.84%, reaching 186.56 points. On a yearly basis, this index has now grown by 35.8%, one of the best performing segments on the BRVM. In contrast, the BRVM Prestige Index, which tracks a select group of elite firms, dipped slightly by 0.22% to 129.66 points. On the sector side, consumer staples was the standout, climbing 1.67% to 207.44 points. This reflects sustained investor interest in essential goods, especially after today's strong performance from Unilever and Nestlé. The financial sector also continued to advance, rising 0.31% thanks to strong showings from SIB, NSIA Bank, and BCCI. Meanwhile, industrials rose by 1.45% and agriculture added 1.94%, continuing the momentum we've observed over the past few weeks. However, not every sector performed well. The utilities sector dropped by 3.60%, mostly due to CIE's pullback. Telecommunications and energy were also slightly down for the day. As for total equity market capitalization, it stood at 12,001.42 billion francs CFA. While volume and value traded dropped sharply compared to yesterday, this kind of market breadth suggests investors are selective, favoring quality names with dividend announcements or long-term visibility. Let's now turn to the bond market. And yes, there was some movement worth noting. Total value traded in bonds reached 25.4 million francs CFA, marking a significant increase of more than 1/3 turned to 90% compared to the previous session. This surge indicates growing institutional interest, especially in medium and long-term sovereign debt. Bond volume also spiked, with 3,168 units traded, a sign of renewed liquidity in the fixed income segment. Among the active bonds today, we saw solid interest in 10-year bonds from Mali and Senegal, most of which were traded at or near par, 10,000 francs CFA, showing price stability. Yields on these bonds typically range between 6.2% and 7.25% per year, offering strong returns for investors who prioritize security and income over short-term equity gains. For yield-focused investors, these bonds offer an excellent opportunity to balance risk in their portfolios, especially amid ongoing interest rate discussions globally. In addition, several coupon payments are scheduled in the coming days, another reason why trading volume is accelerating. For instance, upcoming interest payments are expected on multiple issues from FCTC EPT and TPBJ, offering payouts between 300 and 675 francs CFA per bond. In the equity market, several dividend payments are also set to take place tomorrow, including SIB, CIE, and Loterie Nationale du Bénin. These payouts range from 180 francs CFA to 375 francs CFA per share, an important income stream for many long-term investors. If you're holding these stocks, check your portfolio to ensure your dividend entitlements are up to date. Overall, today's market performance confirms the BRVM's resilience and investor appetite for well-managed companies with dividend visibility. And that wraps up our July 30th market review. Before we close, if you want to receive weekly investment recommendations, access premium research, and lower your investment costs, subscribe to Daba Pro today. With Daba Pro, you don't just follow the markets, you get ahead of them. That's all for today's episode. Thanks for listening to the Daba Markets Talk podcast. We'll be back tomorrow with another update. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a rating, follow us, and share with friends. Remember, this information is for educational purposes. Always do your own research or consult with a financial advisor before making investment decisions. And download the Daba app on your app store to start investing in African stocks, bonds, and manage portfolios through your phone and find other helpful content. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing your financial knowledge.